Okay, good afternoon. We're going to be doing some small refactoring. You can see I did a little bit of UI stuff. It's basically just setting up the groundwork for moving forward with the code that's going to be done today. But it's just some simple stuff. I guess I could just go over it briefly. Open this up. Unity. There. Proper. So you can see, well, actually, I have a ton of exceptions. Find out what's causing them. Just need to save. Okay. So the game does work, and we've tested out the anonymous token. It works perfectly fine to keep anonymouses. So we could technically push this on WebGL right now, and it should be fine. We don't care about anonymous stuff. I guess we'll push it after I finish doing this. That would be probably a smart... Well, we have to test a WebGL build, but anyway. We didn't save anything here yet, so we could technically just disable this. And then we could just run this. And yeah, see, it still loads my account from yesterday. And it maintains the amount of apples that I had gotten since yesterday. Does it update? Yes, it does. Okay. It does reset my mass, which I want. But this is persistent, the amount of apples. Right. Right, and so we can just trade our mass for apples. So technically speaking, we could go to the marketplace, is the idea, and then just buy a ton or sell a ton of the apples that we have. If somebody buys them, then we, in our run-through, will get a ton of mass from all of those apples that we just sell. So in a way, it kind of is like roguelike. It's kind of weird. It's a weird kind of... I've never played a game quite like that, but that's how it ended up. The power of data. So right now we can't do any of that though. So we're going to be setting that up. Well, we can do the Apple stuff, like we have our inventory. We're going to be setting up this stuff now. Right, so we have here, right now is just working on making the market stuff, but we also have the mail part. Let's go to scene real quick. All right. Okay. So the idea is when something is sold... well, let's not get into this. We're going to handle this piece by piece. So before we get to mail, we're going to take care of market. Market really has two pieces to it. It has the inventory and the market. When the market actually opens, so when this becomes enabled, that's when we'll populate the market. So we'll just do we need to create two gets. We need to create a get for the inventory of the current player, and then we need to get the marketplace's inventory also, the items on the market. Items on the market have a bit more information on them, so we'll need to represent that slightly differently. Now, we're going to try to reuse some code here, because I don't feel like having to retype item slots just for each one of these. So these slots, this slot right here is basically just this slot, with one difference. I can click these slots. So before we get into how that works, it's simply just inheritance. What I'm going to do is fill out this part. So when we open this up, or when this becomes enabled, it will populate, it'll do a get on the current inventory, and when the market becomes, it'll do a get on the current market. That's the goal for this part, right? And then after that, we're going to make it so that when we press Q, we open that up. It'll slide out or maybe just appear, whatever. So should we create... Oh yeah, we also are going to need to make a new prefab for the transferring. So like when you left click one of them, it's going to open up this transfer info. And based on what the type of transfer is what it's going to be displaying. It's the idea. So we already have this over here. Let's instead of making it a prefab, we should probably just make it an object, is what I'm thinking. And then we can just enable it and disable it when we need to. This is actually tying into something that I wanted to make. Okay, now I'm excited about this. Before it was just getting stuff done, but now I actually want to do this. One sec. Because this is tying into something that I actually wanted to make, these 3 scripts that I wanted to make. That I never got the opportunity to for different reasons. Let's first just ensure that YouTube, that you are streaming properly. We just went through all of that and I never verified anything. This is probably going to be a very short stream today. I think we're only going to be here for like another 2 hours, so it is what it is. It looks like we are streaming. Okay. All right. So let's get to it. So that means that we're going to have to create 2 sides to this. Let's do the first side, which is going to be the side that's going to make the request for information. So that would be the market. And I think we already have, yep, there it is. Let's introduce a new UI element. This is going to be the panel that's going to show up when we're ready to make a purchase or something. So let's imagine what this is going to be filled with. It's going to have the items name that we're dealing with. The... actually, hold on. Let's do it this way. Alright, so what's a good number? I think 300 is... Oh, 150. Oh, that's alright. Okay, so in practice, we go to sell, this one should show up, and then it'll just show the name of what we want, which will be the apple. We put the amount, the price per each, and then... Actually, we need one more thing. There we go. So it'll just spit out the number that you'll get in total for the amount that you're selling here. All right. Good. Then for buy, basically going to do this. Let's get rid of sell real quick. So we don't need buy per. Just need amount to buy. Right, but we can introduce this. There we go.
To protect your soul.
Ugly, but it gives the eyes something different. Okay, good enough. Change this. Okay, there. So this will be our little system here. for handling purchasing. Okay, and so when the panel activates, you can tell it whether or not we want to sell or we want to buy. That's going to be the one that shows up. If it's sell, it's like this. Buy, it's like that. There we go. Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. There are a few steps that are going to be involved here, but this is the first step, and this is done, so we're good. By default, let's leave cell active, and let's just disable this altogether. Actually, just disable them both. Okay. And so this needs transfer info controller. Should probably fit under market, to be honest. Let's do that. There we go. All right, so I'll be right back. Give me one sec.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions
Okay, we are back. We forgot to change this. This whole extension thing. Still annoying. Okay. So now we're at this little question mark part about the design. Should we instance market slots? Very interesting point made here. So here's the beauty of this. With the, let's enable it, with the market, these are automatically reconfigured based on the rules that are set up from how the content wants to handle it. So that's what this content size fitter does. Well, actually, it's the vertical layout group that does it. Market kind of has its own system for this. So like if I even, let's say I took this and then just dropped it over here, it's going to change it around, right? And if I duplicated it like that, so it automatically is going to resize it. All right, and if I bring it back over here, you'll see that it'll automatically resize it to what it needs to be for this. So this means that we can use the same prefab, technically, for both. This is important because we can then, instead of making two different prefabs, we can just make one prefab that has all of the information that we will need for a market, and only fill in the stuff that we need for inventory first, for the inventory stuff, and fill in everything else when we have it on the market side. Right? So let's make a new prefab for markets and call it market slot. Now again, it doesn't matter what we size this to, it'll resize itself once we put it inside of this thing. But we do know that we're going to need a couple of things for the market side. We're going to need, obviously, for text for the item's name. We're going to need the text for the amount. We're going to need the text for the cost per. Going to need the cost, or sorry, we don't need that. What we need is the posted date. And we're going to need the poster, item poster. Okay, there. So now let's organize this out. Let's do that then. Oh, let me finish sorting this out. I'm just trying to get like a feel for what it's going to look like.
Stranded in the open, dried out tears of sorrow, lacking all emotion, staring down the barrel, waiting for the final gates to open to a new
Okay, there. So now let's get rid of this. What this looks like. Looks like nothing. Weird. Oh, that's why. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. All right. We get this idea of what's going to happen when we actually do this. Hello, Herbert. Hey there. Just started watching. Welcome. But I'd suggest adding empty game objects for different parts of the UI, like quantity, seller, or whatever, instead of having panels as parents. Also, your setup seems like you could profit from using vertical layout groups or horizontal ones for items. Okay, so there are layout groups happening here. I'm just mocking up different parts as I go along. This is all just to test to build out this system at the end. All of this is throwaway design, so I'm just rushing through it. But I see what you're saying. I just need this to show because I'm testing backend code. So I'm just making a UI to show one specific thing, which is going to be an apple, and the transfer to the market, because this is all going to an online, to Spacetime DB, which is a database far, far away from where I am. So it's just to make sure that I can read, write, transfer information, and that the server logic is going to work. But I appreciate it, man. Interesting. What if I did this? Where the heck did it go? Oh, it's over here. Ah! That's funny. So Unity's undo button just broke it. That's funny. That's fine though. Where the heck is the background? It's like, it's this. Oh, the size got. Okay, I got you. So it is. Whatever. That is hilarious. I did not expect it to do. So let's set this up. And set this up like this. And we're going to set this up over here. So I'm going to say that you do game dev, Herbert. Some undo redo operations really suck, unfortunately. UGUI in general isn't intuitive or easy to handle, in my opinion. Fair enough. If I wanted easy for UI, I think I would have gone with Godot. For absolutely sure. They basically gamified setting up UI. So I can appreciate that. Okay, that should fix it now. I think we hit every single... Oh, we forgot this. Oh, this is what was actually causing the problem. I see. So we'll just do it like this. I forgot to change these from stretching to that. There we go. Unity. Alright, so now let's see what happens when I drop it over here. There we go. I thought. There we go. Interesting. Well, at least... Oh, no. It didn't actually... Okay. I got you. Start from this level. This is supposed to resize like that. There we go. Okay, awesome. Let's get this over here. So now, when we actually run this, this bar doesn't show, so we just have to keep that in mind, that this part is visible. Let's move it over to the other side and see if it works perfectly fine or not. And we have a negative on that. Yeah, there's just things that Godot does that's just... It makes me look back at Unity and then say there's really no excuse. Like, Unity's main game, I think the jig is up on that, right? It's basically release half-baked features, publish them as production-worthy and feature-complete, and then wait until the community fixes them for you in the asset store and say, that's the feature, not a bug. I mean, that's basically what they do. Alright. It looks like we have to make 2 prefabs, which is fine. Alright, which is absolutely fine. We can just copy this, paste it somewhere else, bring it over here.
invincible.
So here's the thing. The stuff on this side doesn't get shown anyway. I don't know why I'm worrying about it. So this doesn't get shown. This doesn't get shown. And this doesn't get shown. Right? Which then means that we can actually shrink this a bit. So let's go back up to content, and I think we can adjust the size, can we? Did here? Oh, we did. So yeah, we can like set it to like that. And then just adjust the panel here. There we go. Alright, so now because we did that, we can make this bigger, I think. And so the content itself can be bigger. Might be a little bit too big. There we go. True. One of the things I also don't like about the example, their behavior system looked promising, but got deprecated really fast as well. That's true. Just some bug fixes going on, or new terrain system. The terrain system, so their terrain system is, it's so weird, right? Like their built-in terrain system is functional by itself. It's a bit obtuse in areas, as in that it's not intuitive for a lot of folks. Like, when I first used it, I didn't understand it at all. I used terrain systems in other places that were kind of just way more intuitive. Then when I got back to it, it was like, okay, I don't need to know everything about it. I just need to know what I need to know to get what I need done. And once I figured that out, I just, like, everything else about it started falling in place. Like, I just used it for what I needed it for. And then I would go back to it and then like poke in different areas, and I was like, okay, I don't need to use, like, it's misleading. I don't need to use the foliage stuff for foliage. I could actually just use decos and get the same effect, and then GPU instance the decos, and it actually works better than using their foliage stuff in some cases. So that's just how they, it's just like very weird. It's very weird. A case in point would probably be their the particle system, right? I remember years ago when I was first looking at the particle system, it was incredibly dense how they had it set up. I was like, who came up with the idea of making this entire thing a gigantic cascade? And I could understand some people can get used to that, but having so many hidden properties, it's like, it's almost, I think it's almost to the point of, so you wouldn't realize how bad it was until you go to somebody else's setup for it, right? Or you do your own setup for particles. Then you realize how bad it is to have so many things cascading. That's basically where I was with it at that point. But their new particle system is far better, far superior. It's just they don't talk about it. They don't talk about their new particle system at all. It's like in Unity 6, it's great. It's basically shader graph, but for particles. And it's, they should just, all they would have to do is make a translator for old particles to the new particle system, and then deprecate the old particle system. Just get rid of it from Unity altogether. Make sure nobody can use it. If you open it up, just gray it out. No one should ever touch that ever again. Just use the new particle system. Like that's how bad that whole cascade situation is to me. So we can get rid of these because we don't need these, right? And that's basically it. That's basically all this needs. This over here however needs some love and attention. Let's see. So we can probably get away with making the item name a bit smaller. The posted date can go up, and it can also be made a little bit smaller. Up there. All right. We need to know the quantity of stuff that's in here, obviously. And the value per... Oops, that's the seller. You can leave that as the bottom. There we go. And I still prefer this over using UI Toolkit. Just, it takes me too long to work with UI Toolkit. And it's like mandatory that I program how it's going to be looking. Either in C# or XML or UXML, one or the other. It's just like... It's not, it's just, it needs work. Even for like, it doesn't even fix some of the issues that you bump into with, the bigger issues that you bump into with UGUI. But for editor code, like I used it to create like a skill tree in editor, that would then create scriptable objects, and then those would populate a skill tree at runtime, right? So like I could just build out the skill tree as I liked in editor. I've since seen a better way of handling that, but for that situation, Elements was really good. Like, I preferred it over doing the editor, using the editor code to create it. So I guess in that way it's a step in the right direction. That's a weird way to take a step. I think this is too big. Go like that. Okay, awesome. And then the last part. I think this is way too big. Awesome. So now we can afford to make this a little bit bigger. Move it down a bit. There we go. See what that looks like at a bigger... Awesome. Okay. Oh, what time is it? Still got a little bit of time. Okay, good enough. All right, so the premise behind this, very simple. Oh, let's actually turn these into prefabs and then put them back in and see if they still work. That's always a good thing to do before I count my chickens. Prefabs. Okay, so... Oh, this just market slot, sure.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand.
All right, let's do that.
It's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through.
All right, did it right. And what about you? All right, we look good. We just need to remember to add this to it. So let's do that. So where is it? Inventory market and market slot. And we just need to do add component, market, UI slot. There we go. And market. Slot. Okay, good. All right. Fantastic goal. So now this is going to go back to where we were at before, where we now need to make... So we've made the system to inform the... just to make sure we didn't break anything. Hold on. We're going to disable this. And let's just run our game. Make sure that everything is still working fine. Yep. Okay. Awesome. Alrighty dokily. So let's work on the first part, then we're going to come back and handle what happens when we click stuff. But the first part is just to make the get for the inventory. So we can just pull information off the inventory controller for what the inventory from the database should be of the player, and then produce that. So it'll be very similar to our actual inventory script. And we might actually be able to use the same inventory script. I'm not sure. Let me see what the inventory script looked like. No, we can't. Because we made this for the 5 slots. Like, I could have done it the other way, but I just, you know, that's fine. In this case, it's just one method. We'll just make the method in the market. So we're going to call this painting our inventory, and we're going to do this on enable. Okay. So first we check to see if we actually inventory if. Okay. I think we want to do it this way. That's going to come back and help us later on, but we want to do it that way. Is it? Oh, that's better. So now we've created the dictionary list. Actually, what we need to do now is instance in a bunch of the these. So we need to do yeah, let's do values. No, let's do it this way. No, let's do keys. So first, we should actually do this. No, let's do it differently.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious. That's the part you always show, 'cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious. That's the part you always show, 'cause you're too curious. Maybe you should
Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. There we go. Oh, can we just do this? Should be able to. There we go.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out.
Awesome. Okay, that should be it. The dish will, as soon as we open up this inventory, it should just paint this. So we just need to do one last thing, and that is to or rather, where is it? Inventory container. I think you have to do it the other way. Plot transform that parent. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that should do it. I think slots also have a clear on them. Yeah, there it is. Guess not. That would have been too convenient. All right. Should actually do it like this instead. Oh, yeah, there we go. So if the slot is still null after this point, then we do that. Is it? I'll do that. What's this thing is blocking? It's inventory right here. Right, there we go. And then we just increase the iter by plus plus. And let's just do a cleanup here in case our inventory actually gets too large. So we can do if then we can do so now we just need to go backwards and eliminate the useless stuff. Should we just disable them, or should we? I really don't care enough. Holy cow, you're down to the pages, Herbert. No, I believe you. I don't disbelieve you. Oh, okay. I thought you just casually remembered the pages from the docs. Let's see. Let's see. So we just need to go backwards now, and let's just remove everything. I think I want. I think we're just going to disable them. So let's do inventory. There we go. So over here, we can do just in case. There we go. That way we only instance it once. That should be it. Okay, I think I feel comfortable with this painting. So this will handle, all we have to do now is when we enable this, we just do a paint on this, and it should handle the rest on its own. We can get rid of, so we're going to actually keep this for a second, because we're going to do basically the same thing now. Public void, paint the market. What did we name the other one? Paint inventory. So the concept remains the same. right? So let's do that. What time is it? Okay, good. We still have an hour, roughly. If market container. For the market slot. Alright, so let's do var market going to be equal to, I don't know if I've set this up, but we will check. I think we have it as market listing controller. Is this a thing? Looks like it is. Not bad. Not bad at all. Sometimes we aren't as incompetent as we think we are. I say before incompetence ensues. So you guys aren't going to see this part, and I'm just not feeling it to switch over the IDE. Just give me 1 second. I need to just double check my market information. See what's in it. This is on server side, so it's the same IDE. It's just I didn't set up the rules. So give me 1 sec. I'm just going to copy this so I don't have to keep bouncing back. Okay, let's go back here. So this is basically what we're looking for. Again, that was just my server-side code that I'm getting as a point of reference for the information that I will have. Okay, so we are going to have the item, the price, the seller player's ID, which is great, and the listing ID. I don't know what that means. I have to look back at the server code to figure out what that means again. And then just the ID of this listing. What does that mean? It means we have to be imaginative with how we're creating information. Well, the good news about this is that on the server side, I'm just going to have to update the reducer. But yeah, on the server side, I just have to update the reducer.
1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention.
Okay. Yeah, we need to change this. One sec. Oh no. Okay. Step by step. I need to restart my IDE because server stuff. One sec. Good news is it won't take me very long. Bad news is I need to find... So what happens is I have to contact these guys at Spacetime DB because it might be on my side. But basically, it keeps losing the solution information, which is
Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread
throwing me off. Okay, there we go. It fixed. Right? So, and now the beautiful part about Spacetime DB, though, is we can make changes to the reducer without having to publish to the clients. So right now I just adapted a method to, instead of taking a single object, it takes the a group of objects. So now back on the client side, I can now not have to worry about what this is. Okay. I'm sorry, that was just a big picture issue I was going to take care of. So let's look at this, var. I guess we can just copy this instead of having to redo the entire thing. So this is market listing. Okay, and that's basically it. But this needs to be changed. So now we just need to do this, and we need to make a new method for this. Market item display. This isn't... I mean, I could publish it right now. I'm just... It's already done. It's more or less just... Again, I'm testing these things out because I have a meeting later, and I need to make sure that I know what I'm talking about, basically. So, nothing better than getting your feet wet. But anyway, have a wonderful day, Herbert. Take care. See you around. Okay, so we have this. So let's make this method. And instead of passing just the item, we're going to pass what is this? So we're going to pass we have to pass a representative of it. So let's just pass the whole thing, the market item itself. This we can get away with just passing the item. Because we know who owns this inventory. But over here, we have to treat it differently. We have to pass the entire market listing because it's going to have the rest of the information about like who the seller is and stuff like that. I think. Right? We have it here. I think listing ID is the seller. No, seller player ID is the seller. So we can get the name of the seller from the server using this. I don't know what this is. I have to look it up. And obviously this is the listing. We don't need this because we already have the listing. The item and the price of it. All right, let's get it going. I just need to look up what this is again. We made it yesterday, and I've already forgotten what it is. Let's do it. So let's go here. So you'll notice that all I'm doing is just extending the item slot controller that we made yesterday for our regular inventory. Right? Set market item display. All right. So this is just a representative of the items that we need from the market. So before we do anything, we can just do this, set item display, which can just be the info.item, and then we can just pass the amount up that way. We don't need to worry about it anymore. As far as the date added to the market, are we tracking that here? I thought we were. Looks like we're not. Let me just check the server side again. I'm pretty sure that we were tracking that. Where am I? Oh, my goodness. Server. My IDE is just like not a friend today. Let's close this one. There we go. Okay. I guess we didn't. I could have sworn we put that in there. Like, we timestamped it, no? I remember writing that. Yeah, we did. It's over here. CTX timestamp. Oh, it's on the item. But that's the drop date on the item. We're not looking for the drop date. So we just forgot to put it on. I gotcha. We forgot to put it on the. You know what? We'll live without it. It's fine. I need to get this done faster. I can't go back now. We added the timestamp to the item for when each item is created. It timestamps it. But we forgot to add that to the market. It's not much to add it, but I just don't have the time to worry about it right now. So let's just not worry about that. Cost per item is going to be equal to the info. Price. And the seller. Right? There we go. I'm actually gonna stop in like another 5 to 10 minutes. So we're not gonna be able to get this done, but I mean, this gives a very good impression for folks who are trying to use FaceTime-DB and like how we did the server side yesterday. This is basically client side, like how it communicates. And so now this should show on the. This should show perfectly fine. We haven't made the on-click event yet, right? Which is just going to ping back up to the this script over here on which panel to show the transfer info prefab thing, right? We're going to get rid of this and just have it be its thing, because I was thinking about making it a prefab, but it doesn't make sense. We already know the limitations. And then we're going to hook in that data, so when you click buy or sell, it'll just transfer the item over. Right? And just like, because I feel bad now because I didn't get to this part, but just to like show, for example, what you would do to like add the item to the inventory, right? To the or move the item from one place to the other. It's basically kind of the same thing. Like, let's imagine like when we clicked, we move this item over, right, by some amount. So let's say that the player put in 100. We're going to just make that number up. It would look something like this. Game manager.con. Think what are they called again? Reducer. So we need to get the reducers. Should be something else here. All? Yeah. BB? All? No. Reducers? All? Interesting. Oh, we can just do it directly. So what was it? Let me check what it's called on the server again. I think it's like transfer, is it? Let me look it up. Where is the server side? Don't tell me I closed it. Oh, it's right here. Okay. It's list item for sale. Got it. There it is. Right. And so we just need to get the inventory. Did we not cache this anywhere? Should have cached it in the inventory manager. Inventory controller, no? I guess not. I guess we didn't. Okay, we can just do it here. Ah, oops. Wait. Oh, we did. What is this? Oh, no. Never mind. Just do this. We forgot to publish. That's why this version is showing. Hold on a second. Let me comment this out. Open up PowerShell. All right, now let's try it. There we go. Yes. Okay, there we go. So now when I do this, it was my assumption that this is how it works. I don't know if this is how it works or not. I might need to... Well, this is a good learning point, right? Let's do it. Yeah, we can't do that. But yeah, I was wrong. So I need to do this then. If we make that big of a change, it looks like we have to inform the clients. So like internal logic we can do without having to do a generate on the client side. But when we make big changes, like when we change the signature for a there we go. We just need to go back to Unity and let it recompile. What are you complaining about? Where are we? Where the heck are we? Oh. Okay. Now let's let it finish recompiling. Okay. And let's also put this here, paint market inventory. Okay. So I think we were in the market UI slot. Yep, here we are. And I was trying to show like how we would handle this selling. So now that everything is hooked together. So what I had to change a second ago was that I had it built for just one item, but since we're doing bulk items, I needed to change the signature to take in a quantity. That's all on the server side. So now game manager, I think we actually... Reducers, list, There we go. So now you'll see that it has like, it's expecting the item's name. Right, so this is listing the item for sale. So we can just go, I believe we have item. What's up here? Representing item there. Let's say the quantity was like 10 and the price is like 1,000. Right? So now this will then push to the server side this item type. On the server side, this will then check the player that has made this request and see if they have all of the items necessary. And it'll just grab the items from that and then dump them into the market from the server side. So this is already just taking care of that whole process. To purchase an item, hey, what's going on, Relinquished? Give me 1 sec. So how? Yeah, I know we have. I'm gonna be off of this in like 10 minutes. But I'm just trying to tie together this logic, and then I have a little bit of research to do before the meeting, and I should be good to go. It's 4 o'clock, right? So we still have 30 minutes to go. Well, 40 minutes. Absolutely. So now we just need to do the. So now we just need to handle how we're going to buy the item. So it's like buy market items. And we just need to pass in the listing ID for the items that we want to buy. Oops. Grr. Hey, what's going on, Nick? I'm like bouncing around different screens. I didn't even see it. Employment lure, I guess. Oh, son of a gun. I forgot to put down... This is my UI, bro. If you want to call it UI, I'll show you my UI right now. That's my UI. And this is the male UI. Yeah, so you can call it UI, I call it an abomination. No, this is fine anyway, you know, just for like what we're doing. For what we're doing, this is fine. This is... No, Nick, you should see what their UI guy does, man. Relinquished has a UI guy that's just like... next level. It's crazy. Like, this is just... And it's weird, right? Because Godot's UI setup, you can do the same thing and it looks 1,000 times better because they allow you to... I don't know. It's just... I can't. Can't bother with it. Alright, let's get back to it. So, what time is it? 25. You know what? I'm gonna put 5 more minutes into this, and then we're going to... So we're gonna fix the server side. We're gonna fix the server side, because we have some stuff to review. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so let's go back to this. So I'm thinking I'm going to... Let's actually show the server code again. One sec. Where is it? We're going to have to refactor the server a little bit. Where is it? Client. Client. There we go. Server. Okay. Alright, so... This is the one that I had to just refactor. I got rid of this. And replaced it with this. Which all we did was just add in a quantity here. And a way of handling the quantity. This way. But we're going to be reviewing this because I think that the item itself, this information, should have a stack. I don't think because the way that this is leading to is that we're now creating stacks for other things. I think the item itself should have the stack amount. Maybe. Not sure. So this needs some review. That's the weird thing about using ECS. Where do you put this value? Because, hear me out. When we take this item, we're just taking the original items, this type, and then putting that type here. We're saying that this type exists, is being represented here. So if we have like 50 of something, we're taking 50 from a type. Why does this type need to know anything about its total amount? Right? So what that means is that when we create something here, that's a type, and then we are going to create an inventory. We create a single inventory for each type. and then we give that inventory a stack. Then when we create a market listing, we're actually tapping into that inventory and data, and then subtracting it from its stack here, and then putting it to the stack over here. That's the logic that we're going to be changing right now. That's what I'm thinking. Right? That's the way I'm thinking about approaching it. I think my brain is finally starting to get into ECS and like understanding what has to happen here. All right. So let's do public int or uint. I'll just do int. Yeah, so uint, because it can never be negative. All right, and same thing with market listing. This can have a quantity. Oh, so also, FYI. Relinquish. So the way that this works, I'm discovering, is as long as you don't make major changes to the code base for the module, changes can be made without having to update the client side. So you can push changes server side that'll have meaningful effect on the client side without ever having to update client side, which is pretty cool. But the moment that you start creating new stuff, like if you create a new reducer or create a new struct, then that's going to require client side information. And since we're going to be making this change, we're going to also add here in these two places, we're going to add I'm going to add a timestamp for when this entered the inventory. Right? I think that's a... How did we add the timestamp before? Ah, okay, so it's actually like a timestamp. I think we can get rid of item value. It's fine. For now, we'll just keep it. We definitely want a timestamp here. I don't think we need a timestamp here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, and then in the mailbox, we probably also want a quantity. So the way that this works is, let's say that we get like 10 items, 10 different items or something from the mail. I don't know. The way that this works is we would be getting a ton of mail, all from this player ID, and they would all have to be synced up into this one, is what I believe is going to happen. I don't know. I have to look into this. This part is a little bit wonky. I think I should call it here because I need to take time to actually do some reading. So I'm going to come back to this. I'm really excited about this now. Like, this is really interesting stuff for me now. Like, there's a script there's two scripts that I want to make, dealing with the UI that I've seen done in other games, and I just wanted to do it, but I just haven't had the opportunity to. So I want to take the time to do that. That's kind of making me want to do the rest of this stuff now. Alright, we need to do some reading. Alright folks, I'm going to call it here. But I did show how to make the calls back to make changes. I'll switch over so you guys can see it one more time before I go. When using SpacetimeDB. Alright, so in this case, after I correct how this works, so that way, because right now it'll just take in one item, I'm trying to correct it after this, so that way it changes with stacks, that's all. But you can see already how you make the call to Spacetime. Pretty straightforward. You tell it you will have this type of item, you want to list 10 of them, and you want to list them each for 1,000 point or whatever, right? That's basically how it's set up. Pretty cool. Okay. Have a wonderful day, folks.
Track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow